Hello everyone, this is Drake Striker and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm in a weird space. I could be playing Soma right now. It's not that I don't have the spoons for it, just, I don't know. Not in the mode to get spooked, I guess. But I've been on a real kick for this essentially digital translation of the board game Terraforming Mars. And so I thought I would film me playing it and share it with all of you two people who watch my videos. And yeah, this is a game I've really enjoyed. It is like a co-op game, the board game is, but it's also kind of a slightly competitive co-op. Like either way, Mars is going to get terraformed. It's just kind of a question of like, who gets the most credit for that terraforming? So that's kind of the basic concept. And for whatever reason, I've been finding it's a lot of fun, even just playing against the computer. And so I figured I'd share it with all of you, because I can. So local is just kind of the way that you can play with a computer. So I'm going to put the AI medium, because like the hard AI is very much a no mercy, kind of groin punching level of difficulty. AI is like challenging enough that it gives me enough problems, or maybe it's just I'm a casual noob, and this is what I can deal with. So that's done. Draft variant is different, so I'm actually going to turn that off for this. Corporate error rules. Yeah, so this basically plays a longer game. I might not show you guys that. So basically a standard game lets you start off with like all of the resources that you can start with. Basically they all start at 1, so you are creating additional resources that you can use to play different cards with. It is kind of a deck builder, but also a board game. It's weird. It's Terraforming Mars, and I'm weird, so. Alright, so I think those are all the rules I want to use. Now I'm going to create a new game. Okay, you can always use a beginner corporation. Only use that if you were just learning the game for the first time. You start off with a decent amount of, well, ME is money, and you get 10 free cards. It's not bad. I'm not a noob, so I'm not going to do that. So we have these other two corporations that I'm going to play as one of them. To figure out which I'm going to be. This one, I start with more money than this one. This one starts out with just 45, but this one starts off with 57. But with this one, after you pay for a card or standard project with a basic cost of 20 money or more, you gain 4 money. That's not as useful. That is not as useful, believe it or not. This one, you do immediately draw 3 cards. That's always nice. But also the requirements for each of the cards, whether it's like oxygen, water, temperature, it's literally, it's a little more flexible. So I'm definitely going with Inventrix. Kind of the lore, Inventrix uses brains as well as muscle when competing with other megacorps. Its motto being, do it right. Inventrix is focused on research. Yeah, I'd like to say that. That sums me up well. Okay, so these are prelude cards. These are just kind of like 2 kind of bonus cards before the game like gets proper started. What immediately pops out, this one. But I don't like that. It removes 5 of my money, and I do not like that. What does this one say? Ecology experts. Increases my plant production 1 step. I can play a card from my hand ignoring any requirements. That's not bad. But I think these 2 are going to increase the amount of resources that I get every round. Yeah, this gives me 4 steel and also increases my steel production 2 steps. I'm definitely going to take that. This one increases energy production and gives me some steel. I'm going to go with that as well. And I'm guessing that if I choose a lot of cards that I can use steel to buy, I'm going to be using that steel. So the cards are going to be cheaper. Okay, and now they're giving me 10 cards that I can buy. Oh, right off the bat. Okay, I'm sorry. Deimos Down is infamous in this game as basically being a hey, guess what? I'm probably going to win this game kind of card. It's a little OP. Yeah, you raise the temperature of Mars by 3 steps. You gain 4 steel, and then you can remove 8 plants from any player. It's a nice. I'm gonna keep that to the side. So terraforming rating, that's basically kind of, you know how I said before, like, depends on how much credit each person gets for terraforming the Mars. Well, terraforming rating is basically that. That is essentially the credit that you get for terraforming Mars. So the higher your terraforming rating, the more credit you're getting for terraforming Mars. So event cards are just kind of one-offs. It's just like, hey, you play this card, it has this effect. It doesn't necessarily benefit you long run, but something like that, fairly nice. Ooh, Protected Valley. This will increase my money production a couple steps. I can place a greenery tile, which I'll explain a little bit about that in a little bit. An area reserved for ocean, which is nice, and increase oxygen by 1 step. Definitely keeping that one. So each of these cards that I'm selecting, that costs a certain amount of money. Like each card costs 3 money, and it's coming out of this pool down here, the 45 money that I start with. So I don't want to spend too much, but I also want to spend enough that I can set myself up in, you know, a decent place. Yeah. So the red, let me get out of there. So for a card like this, it says minimum -24 degrees Celsius. This is the very beginning of the game. Cards with requirements like this, I don't want to take. Because the game's just barely started. I haven't fulfilled any requirements. So like a card like this, not going to take. Any of these cards, not going to take them. Again, like I only have a very small amount of money in the beginning, and hopefully I will be getting more money as I go on. These two, however, even though I don't start with a lot, are interesting. This one is just energy. Energy can be good for like other cards I play in the future. What's Large Convoy? Okay, so victory points, that's what this is. Those will be helpful going forward. Placing an ocean tile, which is good. Drawing 2 cards is good. Gaining 5 plants. All of these are good things. And if you look at this is how much money it's going to cost to play this card. It is a very expensive card. So I'm not going to be playing this right away, but I am going to set it aside for a rainy day. And I think those are all the cards I want to buy. I'm going to press done. Are you sure? Yes. Yep. Okay, so now the AI is going first. Whoop. I don't know. If you pause that, you could see what the hell it just did. But it looks like it set some ocean. Oh, and now it's going to place a city tile and increase its money production by a couple of steps. Because it's a bastard. Okay, and now it's my turn to play my pre-game cards, which are just going to be increasing my my resources. I already kind of went over the cards with you before, so now I'm just going to kind of set them in motion. Yeah, and that's actually another reason why I didn't take the energy card from the 10 cards I had, because I was going to get a little energy production in that prelude card. I really should not be drinking while I'm playing this game. This game requires a lot of brain power! But it's Wednesday, so I feel like turning my brain to the off. To the off. Okay, so I'm immediately drawing 3 cards because of the corporation I chose. Let's take a look at what these cards are. Strip Mine, which is... it's okay. I decreased my energy production by 2. Increased titanium production by 1. And my steel production by 2. And I raised the oxygen 2 steps. That's not terrible. I don't want to do that yet. I could just be a right bastard and play this right out the gate. I kind of want to do that. I'm a bastard. I'm a bastard. I don't give a fuck. What now, computer? Yeah, and I'm going to take away 4 of his plants because I can. Okay, so this is the name of the game. When it says terraforming Mars, like, these are the things that you need to look at. Everything is on the right hand of the screen, right here. So basically, you are looking to add water. So you're adding, like, basically 9 of these water hexagons. Somewhere throughout this board, there are mostly, hexagons devoted specifically to water. But if you have, like, a card, like I've got, like, Protected Valley, you can put down, like, some greenery where you could. There's more of the tiles that you can place the water than there are the necessities, or the 9, I guess, requirement for the water. But you also need to add oxygen to the Mars atmosphere, which in this case is, like, I think 14% oxygen. And you also need to increase the temperature from where it was at to all the way up here, which I think is at least like 8 degrees centigrade? No. Not centigrade. It's Fahrenheit and... something. Some other measurement that the people in Europe use that I don't because I'm American. I can't even say that with a straight face. It's just I don't think it's centigrade. I think centigrade's something else. But I'm not going to remember it until, like probably halfway through the recording of this game. So let's go and see what else I can do to screw with this guy. So let's see. I've got, not quite free cards, but almost, because I've built up so much steel right now that these 2 cards, essentially, I can spend a lot. Actually, so with this one, I would be reducing my energy output. I'd get some titanium, but the only thing I really have to buy titanium with is this card. And I can wait to do that. I think I'm going to get this card for 2 reasons. 1, a Protected Valley, not a bad idea. And one of the things I want to do is I want to set a city here and then just surround it by greenery. Because the more greenery you have around any cities that you put down, the more points it gets in the end game. So that's something that you want to do when you're playing this game, if you want to be like me and be a cheap little bitch. But this is also going to not just increase my terraforming rating, it's also going to increase my money production, and that is a good thing. So many reasons why I'm playing this card. And I'm going to pick up a couple of plants while I'm at it, just because I can. I don't think I can... Yeah, I can't really afford anything else, though. So, I'm not going to be able to afford this anytime soon. Micro mills I might want to hang on to, but I'm going to sell patent. Nope, not that card. This card. I'm going to sell this particular card just because I can. And because, like, every little bit of money that I can pick up is going to be worth it in the end. Okay, so this is important. So purple just passed their turn, which basically means they can't make any more turns in this round. So now, if I had the money and the stuff and like the resources, I could play more of these cards. But because I don't have those, I'm going to pass my turn as well. That's going to put it on to the next generation, which is basically, you don't have like a limit of generations that you can use to terraform Mars. But like every new generation, that's when you get all of these resources. So I'd get 3 money, I'd get 3 steel, a titanium, a plant, energy, heat. But I also get money equal to my terraforming rating. So that's what's going to happen after I press pass. So yeah, first purple gets all their shit, including their money. Now I'm getting all my stuff, my money. And it also switches us. So now I'm going to be going first instead of purple. And that's always cool. Okay, I'm getting really lucky with some of my draws. I want to point that out right now. A big part of this, blind luck. But when you get it, very nice. The reason I say that, Noctis City, very nice card. Set down a city in one of the, I think like 3 dedicated spaces for cities. And usually when you set down a city, it's a standard project. There are certain standard projects where you can basically just spend a certain amount of money and you get some sort of you either increase the oxygen, you set down the greenery. I think you have to do that, so you are like taking up some part of the map, or you increase the temperature, or you set down an ocean tile, or you can put down a city. When you put down a city, you also increase your money by, or your money production by 1. So being able to set down, and it actually costs like, I want to say like close to 30 money. So a card like this, which costs less than 20, increases your money production actually by 3 steps and places a city, which would increase it yet another. You know, it's one of those coveted cards. So definitely picking that one up. Because of all the good things this gives me, even though it's a one-off, I'll probably take this as well for the lulz. You know, I'd be gaining 2 plants, increasing oxygen by 1, placing an ocean tile. All good things. Even though this would give me a victory point, which right here, that's just kind of an added thing that kind of adds to your like bragging rights, but also points to see if you win the game. I'm actually going to pass on this, just so I don't feel like spending the 3 gold out of the gate to get that. Yep, okay, so I have a whole bunch of cards and a Mars to play them with. So let's see. Yeah, so there are a few things I could do. I could just straight up improve my terraforming rating, which will improve my money per round. Could add oxygen. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. This would allow me to like increase my oxygen, but also put down an ocean tile. So I think I know what I'm going to do. So these are all the standard projects. These are what I was just telling you about. You can also increase your energy production by 1 step, but this is what I was just telling you about. So now over here, as you might see, there are different kind of milestones for when you advance each of these things down the track. And we are only 1 away from increasing the temperature to get another bonus step, and basically this increases your heat production. So I'm going to be a bastard. I'm going to take that away from the computer. So asteroid is the standard production that increases the temperature by 1 step so that I can claim that extra bonus. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, then the second thing, and really the only thing I can do with the money I had, was micro mills, which is going to increase my heat production yet again, so that, because basically one of the things, and this is again a thing I didn't quite explain, but with these 3 things, so every round when you enter your production phase, so it has 1 right here, it'll create 1 plant, which will put another plant here. So next generation, I'll go from 3 plants to 4 plants. Once I get up to 8 plants, I can convert those points for free to put down a greenery token, which is going to increase the oxygen level by a step. So that's one of the ways you terraform Mars. Another way you terraform Mars is, so this is temperature and this is energy. At the end of every generation, energy gets transferred to heat. And but you can also convert 8 heat resources to increase the temperature by 1 step. So that, now that you've heard all that boring BS explanation, I am going to do this so that I basically increase my heat production by a step, and I'm going to give the computer its turn to play stuff. Okay, so it's just getting a couple of victory points, which, fine, I don't feel threatened by that. And it's putting down another greenery, or a greenery. Hasn't put down any greeneries yet. I am okay with this. I'm still kind of ahead as far as the terraforming rating, but as you can see here, I don't have the money or the resources to play my card, so I'm going to pass. Let's see. Yep, and purple is going to pass. And so now we're going into the next generation. Oh, and before I point them out, yeah, so you can also get steel and titanium resources, which can essentially be used to pay for cards that do things, basically. So, like, for instance, if a card has this kind of star token up here, which, actually, I may want to pick that up. But if they have that, you can pay steel to reduce the money cost up here. And if a card has like this kind of house icon up here, then you can pay steel to get that instead. So now let's look at what we've got to deal with. This card requires at least 3 oceans. We don't have 3 oceans placed yet. I'm probably not going to mess with that. Now this card requires, this is very interesting, it requires a Jovian tag to have already been played by the player. So you can go down here, it will show you which tags you've played so far. I have not played a Jovian tag yet, but if we look here, we can also see that I don't have any cards with Jovian tag. So a Jovian tag is basically like all of these things up here are different tags. So like this arrow symbol, that's an event tag. The star symbol, that's a space tag. And this globe-like symbol, that's an earth tag. So it's basically just kind of like what the card is associated with. So I don't have any of that, so I couldn't take advantage of this card unless I had that. So I'm going to pass on that. Insulation. Yeah, I can decrease my heat production by any number of steps and increase my money production. It's just a trade-off, and it costs money, and I just don't want to mess with it. And this decreases my energy by 4 steps, which I only have 3 production right now, and then increases my plant production by 2 steps. Plant is definitely more useful than energy, and it will raise my terraforming rank. Actually, I'll grab that card. It's probably a for the future card, but so the AI just played a card that basically means like any, because some cards, as you may have seen, very fleetingly as the game races by you, some cards require at least like a certain amount of ocean tiles to be set, or a certain oxygen or temperature level to be set before you can even play that card. Kind of a pain. But that's what the cards need in order to get played. So can't really argue with that. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the temperature by converting my heat, because that is a free thing, and it just automatically raises my terraforming rating. And I can't say no to that. And so I've got all these cards. Large Colony is the most expensive card right now. I can reduce its cost with some of the titanium I have, but not by very much. I think Noctis City would give me the most bang for my... Actually, I can reduce, because I've got a fair amount of steel. Let's do this first, because this is really going to help me. Yeah, so what used to be an 18 money card is now only a 4 money card, because I'm going to be spending all the steel on it. And it's going to, in the long run, get me a lot more money. So I want to play Noctis City. This is right where it's going. And it's already adjoining a greenery here. Thank you, Purple, you miserable bastard. Oh, and they've already passed. And I've still got a healthy amount of money and titanium. What kind of mischief can we get into? So, let's see. Well, I've got titanium. And getting this out of the way could actually be pretty helpful, because it'll give me more distance between the computer by increasing the oxygen, which will increase my terraforming rank, and putting an ocean tile. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of titanium to make this a little bit cheaper. It's gonna ask me where I want to put that ocean tile. Now I want to put it here because these tokens mean that I get 2 plants when I get one. There's like up here, it would be 2 steel. Here, it would be a bonus card. Down here, it would be 2 titanium, 1 plant, you know, so on and so forth. You get the gist. But I want 2 plants here, because then I will have enough to get another greenery, which is basically going to mean that like I'm going to start to snowball like no one's business. I want to convert these plants to a greenery, and I'm going to put it next to Noctis City, so that this city both gets more points, and I want these two plants. I just feel like being a big old bastard. And I still have enough money left over after all of that to further increase my terraforming rating by 2. I think I'm going to do it. Yep. There we go. And I think that's going to be the end of that generation. Or, oh, I did half a turn. So now I've got to. There we go. This game's going pretty well for me so far. I appreciate this. Okay, so these are some interesting cards. So this one, Arctic Algae, requires a maximum of -12 temperature. Basically, whenever an ocean tile is placed, gain 2 plants. We've gotten almost half of the ocean tiles we need, so this would have been helpful earlier on, so I'm not going to grab it. Domed Crater, that requires a maximum of 7% oxygen. We are only at 4% now, and this will help me with some things by just giving me more money and let me gain some plants. Definitely taking that one. Worms, let's see. Minimum 4 oxygen, which we've got. It will increase my plant production by 1 step for every 2 micro tags I have, including this one. How many micro tags do I have? I have none, so that would be a waste of money. So yeah, this is the only card I'm gonna get for this generation. Okay, so now where are we at? Okay, so I think the first thing I want to do is play Domed Crater because it has a maximum. So once oxygen goes beyond 7%, I can't play this card anymore. I can't benefit from it anymore. So I'm going to spend some steel to reduce some of the cost. Okay. And it's just going to be a question of where do I want to put this city? So now one of the things when it comes now cities you can place anywhere. Greeneries, once you start putting down cities or greeneries, you have to put greeneries adjacent to whatever tiles you put down already. Cities are different. You can place cities wherever, which is good. And if you want to maximize your city's point effectiveness, you're going to want to put them, okay, the one thing is you can't put cities adjacent to each other. You can't put one city right next to another city. There's some cards which are exceptions. It's a thing. We'll get into it if we come across those cards. So you can't put cities next to each other, but you can put them pretty much anywhere else. So if I want to maximize the city's effectiveness, I just want to put it literally like with a hexagon in between them, so that if I put a greenery like say here, then both cities will get the benefit of that greenery being there, because when you have greeneries adjacent to cities, like, you get points for that. Basically, you get more points for that. So I'm gonna put my city here for that reason, so that I can put a greenery here eventually and get points from it from being adjacent to both cities. Okay. Oh, another thing I almost forgot to mention. So there are 2 things. One is milestones and one are rewards. Now, milestones are kind of once you hit certain, milestones, they basically award victory points, which are more points towards your final score. They've got a bunch of different things that they requirements that they have in order to claim them. And anyone can claim them, and you basically spend 8 money in order to claim them. So the first one is have a terraforming rating of at least 35. Another one is to have at least 3 city tiles So I'm ahead in that one. I just need to put down like one more city and I'm golden. Another one is to have at least 3 greenery tiles. Again, I'm ahead of that one, which is cool. Builder, have at least 8 building tags in play. It looks like I'm even with the computer. And then planner, have at least 16 cards in your hand to claim this milestone. I've never been in a game where this milestone was claimed. People just tend to play their cards first. And then awards is different. Awards is kind of, I guess, things that like that are a little more aspirational. That basically like you can fund, and you want to fund them if you think you're going to get that award, but the award is not actually provided until the end of the game. So like for landlord, you have to own the most tiles in play. So if you have the most tiles in play when the game ends, you'll get the points for that award. Or for banker, having the most money, production, scientist, have the most science tags, have the most heat resource, or have the most steel or titanium resource. So those, just some more of the minutia that I'm going to be taking into account while I play this game. Okay, so I can't play any more cards. So I'm going to place another greenery, I think. And I want to place it around Noctis City here because I want to get the points. And as I mentioned, you know, putting it here, both cities benefit, and I'm loving it. Okay, so what's purple doing? Okay, purple is fucking around a little with their resource management. So they want to get more plants as opposed to money or... And they're reducing my heat resource, you bastard! Now they're making greeneries. I don't care for that. Okay, so I think... So I can't pay for any of these cards. So I'm going to increase the temperature one, and I think that's all I can do. Okay, technically it's not all I can do this generation. I could also buy a standard project if I wanted to. I'm not sure I want to. Milestones. Oh, I can actually. It's a good thing I just explained the milestones, because I can actually, because I've got 1, 2, 3 greeneries in play, I can claim the gardener milestone. Yay! So that'll be 5 points at the end of the game. Just for me! Okay, yep, and now he can't get the gardener milestone anymore. Yatch! Not that it's any of my business. Okay, next generation, if he doesn't get it first, I want to increase the oxygen so I can increase both the oxygen and the temperature and get that double whammy. Actually, wait. Can I do that now? Shit, I can't do that now. Okay. I gotta pass. I gotta pass! Yeah, well, they had to pass too, so not just me. I know. Playing a sci-fi game, and I'm drinking out of a horn. Mead out of a horn, of all things. I'd say whose mead it was, except they're not sponsoring me. So. Okay, let's see what cards I can get. Well, Noctis Farming is interesting. So minimum temperature, which has already been exceeded. That will be good. Lunar Beacon. That decreases my money production, so I'm not a huge fan of that. This requires minimum -10 temperature. We are not there yet. I think we're at -16 right now. So, and this is a card which, like, yeah. So whenever you play cards with like animal, plant, or microbe tags, then you add a microbe. It's very conditional. I just don't care for that. So that's the only card I'm actually going to be picking up this generation. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, you're increasing your heat production. Please tell me you're not playing a greenery. Please tell me you're not playing a greenery. Okay. I can live with that. I can live with that. You're trying to get some more victory points. So, is there any cards I can use to increase the oxygen? No. Okay. So, because I don't have any cards that increase the oxygen, I'm just going to do that straight with a standard project. So I'd be doing that with a greenery here. Just going to take up a bunch of my money. Do not care. Yes, I want to build greenery. And I'll put that here. Didn't really matter where I put it at that point. There's no way to maximize effectiveness. Yeah, so I just increased my terraforming by 2 ranks. First by this, and then claimed this bonus step, so increase the temperature. And my terraforming is at 35. So, not standard projects. Milestones, please. I'm going to claim you now. I'm not creepy. No, not at all. Meanwhile, the AI is claiming small animals. I would ask, but... Okay, so this is the only card I can play. Not just farming. It'll give me a victory point. Actually, I can reduce the cost, which will be nice. To only 4. I'll get more money, and I'll gain a few plants. I am good with this. So I don't actually have the money to spend on this other stuff. This, however, is going to require more energy production, as will this. So in order to prepare for those things, I am going to get a power plant, which is going to increase my energy production by 1. So then I can start working toward actually playing those cards, because otherwise I'm up a creek without a paddle. Yep, and see, even the AI does it, so clearly that's how you know it's the cool move. Okay, but the AI only used 1 step from its last turn, which means it's going to pass. So I'm going to pass as well. That fucker, he didn't just take my plant, he took my plant production. Oh, that son of a bitch. I'ma get him. This means war. Alright, what do we got here? Underground city. Actually, this'll be okay. Yeah, I actually need another city if I want to claim the last, of the cheapest milestones. Move 2 plants. Okay, so this can get me back in the plant production game, because that bastard kicked me out of it. Shuttles, play space card, pay less for it, which is nice. Yeah, I'll pick that up. And yeah, yeah. So I'm getting, this is the first round, I think, this whole game I'm getting all these cards. Okay. So, how are we starting this? How are we starting? So, I think how we're starting this is by claiming that last milestone. Because that way, the AI can't claim any of the milestones. And I feel like being a bitch. So, using my steel, reducing that cost. And I'm even going to put it here, because that way I benefit from the greenery he's put down here. Yeah. How do you like me now? Okay. Oh. I don't like that card. I'm going to sell that card by the end of this generation. I don't like nuclear stuff. I only like nuclear stuff in Fallout. Not terraforming Mars. Mars didn't do anything except send us demons from hell to try to invade Earth. Yeah, that's a thing. Remove 2 plants. Increase my plant production by 2 steps. I mean, I could do that. Before I decide to do that, I'm going to increase the temperature by 1. Just because it's a free thing that I can do, and why not? Oh, he's gonna place 2 ocean tiles. What a badass. Finding some titanium and some plants. Adding to his collection of small animals. I could accuse him of being a fetishist. I don't kick shame. Okay, back here. Okay, before I even get the temptation, I am selling this freaking nuclear zone card. No. It's just bad juju. When you're trying to terraform like a fresh planet, you're trying to make a new start for humanity, assuming we fucked up the Earth too much, let's not bring nukes into it. I mean, don't even know how to dispose of them correctly. Okay, so given what we've got right now... Wait a second. That requires a minimum of 5% production. Do we have oh, I don't have any energy production. That's why. Okay, I'm going to start with this then, so I can start building my energy production again, so I can start playing those other cards in the future. That seems like a sound decision. And he's going to build more plants. More plant tiles. And putting more ocean. Because he's trying to catch up to me. Because he's at terraforming ranking 31. I'm already at 36. Someone's slow today. Shuttles. When I play a space card, I pay 2 less for it. And I've got to figure out the expensive one here. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And this way, it only costs me 1 money. Oh, and I'll increase my money production by 2 steps. Which is nice, because money is the most versatile resource in this game. And now I can pull the pin on this, move 2 plants, and increase my plant production by 2. Which would be good. Because instead of just having the 5 plants sit in my resource bin, I'll get 2 plants every generation. Assuming dickhead doesn't reduce my plant production. Bah! How do I... Oh, I do have this. I just haven't been paying the money for this, and I really need to do that next turn, because he has 1 city, but that could change pretty quickly. Okay, so what do we have here? So, one animal to any animal card. Don't really care about that. I don't have any animal cards, but I would gain victory point, 3 plants, increase my money production by 2 steps. Good card. I'm taking it. Import hydrogen. Put down a water tile. Gain 3 plants. Add cards add microbes or animals to cards I don't have. Still a decent card. When any city tile is placed, gain 2 money. I can afford to pick this up. I'm not picking up nuclear power. That reduces my money production. I don't like that. I don't care for that. I are dragon, and I will have all of the money. Does anyone have a lozenge? Okay, now I'm going to pick up that milestone, which I meant to do before, and completely friggin' forgot about. And now that I've got that, I've got all the milestones, and you don't get them anymore, computer. No. Alright. So now, what can we get? Actually, because if I put down some more cities, I'd get 2 money every time I do that. This would be a good card for some setup. And spending this much steel, it's free, so free things are good. I like free things. I mean, it's not technically free, I'm spending steel on it, but still. Okay, he's building up some energy production. Okay. So now I think I want to do this. I think I want to finally pull the pin on this. Yep. Okay, so where do I want to set? Trying to get a card is kind of a crapshoot. Steel is, steel's a good resource to have, so I'm probably going to put it there. I do want the 5 plants because I don't have any cards that would benefit from animals, so the 5 plants is nice. Yeah, because I spent most of my money, and I can now set a greenery. And, like I mentioned before, getting the most out of the points by setting one here. I'm going to set one between these 2 cities and put it right in the air. What the ecological You can actually look at what cards your opponents have played. So, I'll look at that and. Oh, okay, so that's the only... Okay, hang on. Oop. Come on, get back here. So basically, whenever they play an animal or a plant tag, they will add an animal resource to this card, and that will help them build up some victory points for the end of the game. So that's what that's going to do. It's definitely circumstantial. I'm not sure I would have done that, but it's the computer, its body, its choice. It only used 1 step, so this is probably going to be the end of this generation. I'm passing my turn. It's passing its turn. Alright. Building up our resources. I'm getting a decent amount of money. 12 money on top of my terraforming rating each generation, which is it's not bad. Still do have one space card. So getting something like this, it's mostly gonna be for the victory points, but it's not a bad idea. This minimum, yeah, that'll help me build up my plant production, and so will this. So that's definitely a card I want to keep. This is just too conditional. Basically, I'd have to take an action. Well, it's not gonna hurt. But it's something I definitely have to play this generation in order to get the use of it. So basically every action I have to add an animal to this card in order to start building up victory points for the very end. So yeah, this is another round where I'm buying all my cards. Okay, and because I'm going to be doing that, oh wait, I thought, oh, it needs to have a minimum of 13%. Oh, okay, so we haven't gotten there yet. So I just wasted 3 money. Yay! Well, I feel sheepish. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to start by using my steel to buy this card. I mean, I'm not going to have the... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, no, I'm not going to... Ah, damn it. So now the question becomes, like, do I wait to even play this card until I get that bird's card up? If I wanted to really maximize the effect of this, I would. Oh, that's frustrating. Oh. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have to focus on some of these other cards first before I get into that, I think. Okay, so my priority is gonna... Oop, you stop doing that. Yeah, so first let's increase the temperature, because that's just some free terraforming. And now let's increase my grass production by a little bit. Little bit. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, so you're increasing your money and your plant production. Stands to reason. And if I had had that card, I probably would have played that card instead. And they're adding an animal to their victory point reserve. So they've got 12 victory points, and I've only got 6. So I'm lagging a bit in that regard, but I'm also ahead in the other regard, so I'm not super worried. Okay, so I'd really need to worry on... Wait a second. Oh, increasing the oxygen in order to do that. So... I'm gonna do this. Yeah. It'll help increase the oxygen a little bit. Give me some more steel. And I'm gonna fuck around with their grass a little bit. And enmity end. Okay. Some adaptive lichen. So I'll increase my... That's not increasing my grass just a little bit. they're going to put down a city, increase their money production. Oh, but now they're taking advantage of the greeneries I put down by putting their city down there. Smart. And, yep, now they're going to put a greenery down there. They're not making bad decisions, if I'm being totally honest. Okay, but now I can start setting down my birds, which is going to help me a lot more in the long run. And I'm going to get rid of a couple of his plants. And now I'm going to add another burb to that card resource, which will start helping me build victory points. Oh, so he's just funded she, they, it. The AI has just funded the first award, which is who has the most heat resource. Why they did that when they don't have any, and when I've actually got a decent heat production, and I haven't really been using it, it's beyond my comprehension, but who knows? So, right now I'm going to play this card, and I'm going to play it for free because I'm spending all the steel on it. That's going to be very, very helpful. And I've just built up a whole lot of grass, enough to set down a greenery tile, which I'm going to put right here between my two cities. Because if there's one thing it should be efficient. Okay, and I can't afford to spend any of my other cards. I can't afford any standard products, so I'm going to pass as well. Now, if you're squinting a little like I am, because I'm playing on my TV, that didn't say 59 money, or that didn't say 69 money, it said 59 money. So it is not, in fact, nice. Okay, let's see where we're at. Yeah, more money is good for me. Oh, max. Negative 18% temperature. Okay, so that card is essentially worthless right now. Herbivores, minimum 8% oxygen. I could. I don't want to because I've already got like an animal card like that. I really want to just maximize that's effectiveness. I'd add 2 microbes to another card, increase my heat production, plant production. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, so I'm only getting a couple of the cards from this draw. Oh, they're increasing their energy production. And they're adding to their pets, apparently. Alright, so my turn. So there are a couple of things that are just some barriers to finalizing terraforming. So oxygen, we're only off by 1 point, and we're also only off by 1 ocean tile. So those are 2 things I want to do right off the bat. So with this, I can do imported hydrogen, which will get me this will get me that last water tile. So that I definitely want to do. It'll give me a whole bunch of other things, which will be really helpful. I'm spending titanium on it so that I don't need to pay full price. It's just all good things. All good things. And where do I want to put... Well, I'm only 1 away from being able to put down a free greenery, so I think I want to put that here so I can get that free greenery. Okay, so now the AI I'm going to take the 2 animals because that'll give me more victory points in the end. So now the AI can't put any more ocean tiles down. So I've effectively blocked them from that. And with this free greenery, I'm going to do the exact same thing, except with oxygen. Here's the thing, though. Even though I'm maxing out the oxygen, you can still put down greenery tiles, and you can still get points, especially for having them adjacent to cities. So I'm going to be counting on that. Okay, he's going to be utilizing his small animals card. And increasing plant production, I think. So now the only thing we can work on at this point is increasing the temperature. Okay, and that's just to increase the animals I've got on my burbs card, which will give me another victory point. Okay, so if I want to start really taking control of the temperature, I want to increase my temperature production, which means playing this card. So I'm going to be doing that. Okay, they're finding another reward. This one for having the most science tags in play. So the heat resource, that's one that I've actually got the most of, but I don't have the most science tags in play. So and it doesn't look like I have any cards with the science tags on them, so that's something I'm going to want to look out for. But I think I'm also considering at this point, what do I have more of that the AI won't be able to catch up to? Steel and titanium resource, they could potentially get there. Money production, I'm ahead, but that's also something that you can, again, catch up to, and I don't want to choose something they're going to catch up to. So what I would want to choose is essentially between landlord and banker, either having the most tiles in play or the money production. In this case, I'm going to fund the money production because that's the thing that they're going to have the hardest time, I think, coming up against if I keep playing cards that increase my money production. So that's what I'm going to fund. I know I'm going to get at least 2 of the awards. I'm already getting all the milestones. I'm not worried about that. Can't afford any more cards right now. Going to skip. Probably going to pass for the next generation. Okay, they passed for the next generation, so that means I'm comfortably ahead. And I'm going to pass. And we're all going to get all of our resources. And then we'll see where things are at. First this time. That's nice. I got to screw with their plant production while also increasing the temperature one step and getting a couple titanium. So that's good. This will also be good because it'll help me continue to get more heat. Blue cards are always, they give you something to do stuff with, like every turn. Like paying 12 and money for an ocean tile. This late in the game, I'm not worried about these, so I'm only going to pick up these 2. Now, because they funded the Thermalist card, and they're actually ahead in actually using that, in cultivating heat at least. I don't want to use this heat if I can afford not to. So that's where I'm going to start by paying for this asteroid card. to screw you out of some of your plants. I'm not sorry. What am I? I'm not. Who do I think I'm fooling? I think I'm gonna pick this card because these are both space cards and I want those to be cheaper. So that'll help increase my titanium production so that those will be a little cheaper in the long run compared to other things, I guess. Okay, increasing your money and plant production, fine. Doesn't really matter. Adding another animal to your menagerie. Alright, let's see what I can do. I can further improve my heat production and give myself a little bit more heat. So I'm actually going to keep that there so that I can start working towards this thermalist, making sure I get the thermalist to work. But I'm also going to put a burb on my burb card so I get another victory point. I like victory points. Okay, so he's putting down a research outpost. It basically helps him afford cards long term. Increases their money production a little bit. They're still behind, I think. You got one of the colonies, you son of a bitch. Yeah, so there are these two. There's Phobos and Ganymede, which help you both like increase your money production as well as I think Phobos also helps with titanium production, I think. Okay, I can't afford anything here. I don't want to spend my heat. I'm going to pass for the rest of the generation. I don't have any more actions to do. I'm going to pass for the rest of the generation. Okay, he's making... It's basically kind of a city 1.5. It's one of the few cities that can actually be placed between a couple of cities. So he's starting to do this basically to try to catch up to my money production. That's basically why they're doing that. So they've got 12 money production right now. I've got 14. I want to stay ahead of that curve. I do not want them overtaking me on that. Okay, this is worthless because it gives a ocean tile, which is no longer necessary at this point. That decreases money production. Screw that. Livestock is another animal card. You really only want one of those and then maximize the heck out of it. Increases my energy production for each power tag I have. So how many power tags do I have? I only have one. And increase my power production by 2. Might be worth it. I don't know. Depends on the other cards I've got. Okay. So he's just played a card which normally would give him an ocean tile. It's not going to do that. It will, however, increase the temperature. And he's playing with his animals again. It's not what it sounds like, folks. Okay. I want to play this bad boy. I'm going to wait on that, actually. Cause away. Oh, I can't play these because... Yeah, because of this. Although... This would increase the oxygen. That might be worth selling at this point. And this one... Oh, I need significantly more energy production than I currently have. Okay. Well, I definitely want to stay ahead of the curve as far as the money production so that he doesn't claim that reward. So I'm going to play this card. And it'll also give me some victory points, which is not a bad thing. And now I'll play this. What are you going to do? Oh, you're... Okay, so they're playing the card basically like every 3 turns, like every 4 turns essentially, that he can increase his terraforming rating. At this stage in the game, it's really slow, it's really inefficient, it's not a good idea. Okay, this is the card I eventually want to play, because that will help me a whole lot. But in order to do that, I need to increase my energy production by 2. So first things first, put a burb on that card, because the card is for the burbs. I'm still not going to spend this. I am, however... do I have any... Yes, I have empty space around my cities. So this is just a cheap points grab at this point. Yeah, like he's doing the same thing, and that's actually pretty effective, putting it like around 3 plants. They just played a card. Nope, not card. Resources cards played. Oop, hey! I'm trying to show the people. Yeah, this is just solely a victory points card. But it also requires you to have played cards with all these tags on it. So... Okay, no, back to me. So in order to play this card, I've got to boost up my energy production by 2 more points. So I'm going to have to fund 2 power plant standard projects. This might not be the most efficient use of money, but I've still got a decent amount of money left over at the end of it. Okay, they're going to pay for another dairy. Yep, they're maximizing that potential. Oh, and they only used 1 turn, so... okay, first things first. Spending my money. Well, I don't even need to spend money on this. I think I've actually got enough steel that I can pay for this outright and basically get it for free. So I'm decreasing my energy, increasing my plant production, and my terraforming rating. I'm going to actually pay for another power plant. And purple pass like I thought they would. Alright, this will increase my heat a little bit, which will just help me further secure that Thermalist award. And I'm going to sell that too, just because this is kind of useless. I mean, it's not entirely useless, but it's useless enough. I'm not going to use the card. Okay, I'm going to pass the generation. hopefully get some new cards that can help me boost the temperature without actually spending heat. Yeah, I'm definitely ahead in the heat game at this point. These are kind of indirectly heat related. And this one's money related. I can't say no to that. Because energy converts to heat. Any generation. So if you have excess energy that you haven't used, it gets turned into heat. And I'll pick up my burbs. Okay. Some a victory point and some energy production. Okay, I can respect that. Let's get some victory points and money production. And some almost free energy production. Now they're building up either steel or titanium. It looks like steel production. And it's a little late in the game to think about doing that, bud. Okay. So now I have no more cards to play, and I've just got a bunch of standard projects that I can afford. So at this point, I'm just kind of going to be putting down things that will help me get points in the long run. So in this case, a city, and it will also increase my my points. Okay, and I'm also going to put down a greenery, maximizing the space between these two. Yep. They're now converting some plants. Yep, figures they were gonna put them around this city block. Oh, and now they're putting down a capital. Where are they gonna place that? Oh, you bastard! I wanted to put a city right here, because that would have been like pretty decent effectiveness. But because they put their capital there, I can't put this here. And on top of that, I think the capital benefits from like adjacent ocean tiles, which this one, because hexagons, it's adjacent to 3 of them. So respect, bro, but also screw you. Let's see. Do you have? Okay, you don't have any heat right now, so. Okay, I'm gonna take the hit. I'm gonna take the hit to increase the heat, increase my terraforming rating. 22. I'll have 30. Okay, I can take another hit. That's it. Wait, what? Hey! Stop touching my plant production, you little bitch! Friggin' fish. Taking on another animal card, though, when, you know, you've already kind of taken on as much as you can, I'm going to pass for the rest of the generation. I don't really think I can do anything that's productive. Okay, he's adding a micro up to that card. Oh, and he's going to put another greenery tile down. Interesting placement. And they just passed. Okay, I'm still ahead by like over 10 of the terraforming rating. I'm not too worried at this point. Like, I've gotten very lucky this game with my draws and been very smart despite inebriation, cough, to choose good cards. I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this one. Dust seals, that requires less than 3 ocean tiles. That's useless at this point. Ooh, imported nitrogen. This will be good. This will be very good. This will also be good, I think. Yeah. It will decrease my energy production, but it will also increase plant production and terraforming rating. So I'm good with both of those things. Okay, he's increasing plant production and money production. That, I think, decreases plant production to increase money production. So, a little weird with a card. Okay, let's spend some titanium. So this card is free, or not quite free, but cheap as dirt. On the burbs. Okay. Yep. This will decrease my energy by a little, but also increase my plant creation and increase my terraforming rating. So, both good things. I'm not going to say no to. Okay, so I have no more cards, so the first thing I want to do, put some burbs on this card. Let's see, standard project, city. I want to put the city here, because then I can put greenery here and here, and help maximize that points gain. Micro. Yeah, so it's a very inefficient way, unless you do it very early on, and now they're increasing their plant production. Very inefficient way of, I guess, trying to increase your terraforming rating. Definitely have to do it early on so that you can keep doing that throughout the whole game. Okay, so they've got no heat, so I can afford to increase this once. 16, that increases by 12. And that increases by 10. I can afford another. Yeah. So mine will be, next round, mine will be at 18, and theirs will be at, mine will be at 18, but theirs will be at 12. So, not the worst thing in the world. Oh! Well, they're deciding to increase the temperature by 2 and finishing the game for us. Alright. Which I'm sure you were dying for, because like, oh my god, how long does this game take? Dear fuck. Okay. So how do we maximize our points from here? Well, let's put down another city. Okay? We're going to put down another city here, so we can put a greenery between this and my other city here. Hey, stop giving the AI points. I'll put a greenery. I'm actually going to put it... yeah, I'm going to put it here so that I can afford another greenery when it comes time to tally the points. Okay, so they just passed the turn. Can I afford anything else? I can't. So, yeah, that's the end of the game. So now let's... Well, first we have like a final like greenery plant conversion thing. And then the game will tally up all the points. So, yeah. My money production is on point down here. That is not where I would have put their plants if I were them, but I'm not them, so... Okay, so now I'm going to put my greenery here, maximize that effectiveness, like I said, and that's all the greenery that I can convert. Okay, the game is over! Let's see how we did. So, I only got one of the awards. That's disappointing. I did get all the milestones, though. Same amount of greeneries. I did better at the cities, though. I didn't do as good as the victory points, but I still stayed ahead enough, keeping my terraforming rating up enough that it maintained that distance from purple, and I was able to win the game. So this was Terraforming Mars. So if you enjoyed a video like this, it's probably more similar to my balloons video than other videos I've done in the past. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video more than other videos I've done, let me know. Press that like button. And if you want to make sure you see more videos like these, definitely subscribe. Definitely make sure you get all the notifications so that whenever I decide to stop being lazy and make a video, you're the first to know about it. So ring that bell. And I am Drake Striker. This has been Terraforming Mars. Thank you so much for joining me on this game, and I will see you at the next one.